We hear time and time again about the importance of strength training for the older generation or for our elderly, or even when you're coming into your 40s and beyond, how important strength training is for you. We hear about how our testosterone begins to drop, how our hormones begin to not be as active as they used to be, how muscle wastage is a thing, how bone density is affected, and how all of these health markers or these general health markers begin to slow down or begin to be interrupted by the aging process. And even though people know this, especially in Ireland, they're very slow to come against it, or they're very slow to make a change, I guess. And, you know, as people get older, the ground is their biggest enemy. That's the biggest obstacle, because we know of the amount of injuries and even longer mortalities that kind of take place from someone in their older age hitting the ground. And how if you're not strong, if you're not mobile, if you're not healthy, how you're more susceptible to that. Now, anyone who I've worked with, or anyone I know who is older and has began some strength training, even if they haven't done much of it, they always say the same thing. They always say they wish they started sooner. And the very few who don't say it are thinking it, they're just too proud to admit it. What I'm saying is, for a lot of those people, even though they know of the benefits, and even though, look, the goals change, strength training in your older years, it's not about aesthetics, it's not about improving power or improving hypertrophy or body composition really. It's about being mobile, slowing down that muscle wastage process, helping your bones, helping your system. It's about becoming more mobile, and all of these things play into the bigger role of being independent in your later years. And a lot of the time, especially in Ireland, the argument is, well, you know, I'm not doing harm to anyone but myself by not doing it. So it's a very Irish thing that people say, well, I'm not going to partake in this because, do you know what, it's only me it's affecting. But I suppose another way you could reframe it, or another way you could look at it, is it's not only you it's affecting. Later down the line, it's going to affect your family, loved ones, neighbours, friends, close friends. It's going to affect everyone in your inner circle, because what happens is, if you are one of those, and I'm not talking about illness or anything like that, I'm talking about just the aging process. If you are someone who all of a sudden is very dependent and doesn't have the strength, the mobility, the health to be dependent or be independent on yourself, all of a sudden you're bringing everyone around you into this. And to use a very ugly word for it, because there's not many other words I can think of to use right now, it's you're burdening them. And that might make you feel like a burden. And down the line, now it might be fine, but down the line, those are the people who are going to have to pick you up, dress you, move you from your bed, wipe your arse, feed you, move you around, care for you, visit you, make sure you're able to drive, make sure you're able to pick up this, make sure you're able to go, you don't fall on your walks, make sure they're checking up on you. And that's something that can be quite tough on people as time goes on. So what I would say to you is, if you are in the older category, or you have someone close to you who's in the older category and they don't think they're doing any harm to themselves, try and reframe it that it's actually for everyone around them as well as themselves to begin strength training into their later years.